Hi everyone, and welcome back. What are we up to this week? We'll continue on with some of our stamps. So these are slightly finer detail stamps. There's a herringbone type pattern. You're thinking they look funny? Well, yep, they look funny because the detail's that thin that I've decided to resin print the top pattern. So I took a slice through it, resin printed it. I had to flatten them out a bit because they were thin, they actually decided to bend. Joys, eh? So, used our technique, get the hairdryer out, warm them up, flatten them down, mounted them on some XPS foam. This is stuck down with double-sided tape. Then I've gone round it with Mod Podge and black to seal the sides and to get a little bit underneath so it sort of seals it a bit stronger. Next stage will be to knock up a casting box, so we'll crack on and quickly do that. I'll just knock it up and then show you because it's available in the resin casting videos how to do that. So we get that done and we'll mix up some silicone. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, we've knocked up a quick casting box, done our maths, so in inches width times length times depth equals times 18.5, which gives you the weight of the silicone you should need in grams. And then just have a look and see what you can take away judging by what's in it. So I'm going for 180 grams to do both of these. Might be a little bit overkill, might get away with about 160 to be honest. But let's go for 180, it's better to have a little bit too much. So I'm going to clear the table down, get the equipment out and start mixing up some silicone. Right, we get our silicone weighed out, so we need 180 grams. Whoop. Always having a really sensitive scales, the numbers look like they're going ballistic. Come on. 130, 140, 50, 60, and then start to ease back. Now just a little dribble. That's where it goes bloop. And there we go, we have 180. So I'll get that out of the way, I'll get the scales out of the way, and then we'll start mixing. So there's me saying get rid of the scales. How am I going to measure the catalyst? Right, so we've got 180, we want about 2%, so about 3.6 grams. So let this reset to 0. With the silicone on it, so we go for around 3.64. A bit of dust on it, tap that off. .82, that'll do the job. Put the lid back on. Now we'll get the scales out of the way. Right, I've just got an old knife and we'll just give this a mix slowly. Gradually work in, try not to get too much air into it. It should go a nice pink. You find out a catch at the sides and the bottom that doesn't get mixed, so hence get it around the sides. Just wipe the knife off. Once I've done that, I'm going to grab another cup. So the one rule is always pour your first mixing cup into another one. There's a little shred in there, that'll be alright. Pour this from height, stretches it out, gets rid of the bowls. Everything you can do along the way to make it easier on yourself is worth doing. Get a knife. Work our way around. So now all the silicone that's at the bottom of the cup is now at the top. Get a bit more out of there, yeah. Waste not, want not. Down. Right, put that one to one side, let that just set and it all pivels out. So we give this another mix, because now anything that wasn't mixed is at the bottom is at the top, so it's a good chance to make sure it's mixed. Right, now we're going to pop this in the chamber, so let's just move the camera over a little bit and you can see what's going on. So we've got our degassing chamber. We're just going to stick this pot, give it a bang if you want, I'll knock some of the bubbles up. Shove it in the middle, stick the lid on. Important bit, I'm going to take this little rubber bung out, like so. That one's sealed, that one's opened. That's going to get noisy, so let's turn this on. And eventually it'll grip, and there it goes. So this is making a vacuum that's going to pull all the air out of the silicone. So the silicone will expand in the cup, hence you want a bigger cup than what you're actually mixing. Occasionally I've had a few close calls. It's just working its way up. I'm getting looked at by the cats at the end of the table who are not very impressed. Alright, it's expanding up, so I'm going to put the camera over so you can have a quick look at what's going on inside. So as you can see, it's all frothing up. That's getting a little bit close for comfort. That's getting very close to comfort. I think I better do something. Hang on. Just turn the compressor off for a minute and just let it bubble away, get some of the air out so it doesn't flow straight over the top. And put it back on and repeat. And we keep doing this until it stops bubbling. Right, while our silicone's degassing, I've taken the mould, whipped it outside, and give it a quick spray with some silicone release spray. So this is probably going to be another 5 or 10 minutes. It's a good time to do it because it gives a chance for this release spray to dry off. The last thing you want is this still to be wet when you actually pour in the silicone. I've been told it causes problems. I've never tested it to find out, so I just believe what I've been told on that one. So I'll be back with you in a minute once this is fully degassed and we'll get it poured in. Right, once it's degassed, it's bubbling a little bit, but some of that's it creating its own air bubbles. When the bubble pops, it's folding air back in. So I think we're as good as we're going to get. So rule number 1, lock off that one and open up that one and gradually let the air back in. So once the air's in, we'll get the pot out and we can start pouring. Right, once we actually take the lid off, let's put my phone out of the way, we can pour this in. So we're going to aim to pour this not actually onto the mould, there's a string there, just seen. We try and get it down the gap and keep it slow. Ooh. Once it's all in, bang, fussy, pick out a couple of these air bubbles and get rid of them. At the end of the day they're on the undersurface, so they're not going to be a big issue, but I like to get rid of as many as I can. Just like that. I will show you the other trick. You get a lighter, ouch, just run it across the top and it cools them up. Really you want a camping lighter where you don't burn your finger. Right, we've left this overnight. It's nicely set, so we're just going to break it out. So I'll work my way around the sides just to pull it away. Just to break the seal, like so. And then we're going to break into it. So, just got to break into this. Turn. Get a pull. Get a grip of it. Let it start coming apart. Come on. Like so. Just try and get all this glue strip. No. There's a bit of paper at the end here, I'm just trying to get rid of. Right, I continue breaking this off. This could be the tricky bit. As it's bedded in a little bit. So work these off. Like so. Just work our way around, breaking the seal at the bottom. So we just lift it like that. So we have our mould. I'll do the other one in a minute. So just get a pair of scissors. Tidy up our edges. Like so. Right. So there's a couple of little bits here. While this is in, we can actually do that with a knife. So we'll get with this one. So we're just going to run a knife gently over the silicone and take it out. There's a little bit there. Let's break this out. And then we'll just get a pair of scissors. Take off the rough. And in there we have our design. So I'll crack on and break out the other one. Right, so once we've broken them out, there's our originals, and then we have our mould with all the detail in. So I'm quite happy how they've turned out. So we'll get set up and we'll mix up some resin and have a look at what they produce. Right, so we got our moulds. First thing I did afterwards was fill it up with water, pour it into a cup and then mark it just above where the water was. So there's two of them. Obviously we need to double the volume of what we're making, and as it's pretty much double because you use half one, half of the other, but done by weight, so the catalyst on the actual resin. Talked them up with some talc powder, some baby powder, and then gave them a brush out. So we've got our resin, and we pour that in up to the line. So So we're looking at 41.9. And I need to go get a cup for the other one. So we get a cup for part B. Right, got the other cup. So do the same again. And this is where you find this one. Catalyst, the lid always sticks. Come on. Twist down it. Sit the lid on so you don't knock it over. And just bottle of white. Right. Try and get this out of the way now. We'll grab our 2 cups. Try and bring this down in view a little bit more. There you go. This one's got a bit of bubbles in it, which is good. So I'm going to bang that a bit, get some of the bubbles out. I could put that in and degas it. Just bang. Plenty of time, because obviously they're not mixed, they don't go off. Come on. Should be fine. So we pour this one in gently. Like so. Put that one over there. Grab our mixing spoon. Give it a really good mix. Sure, right down the bottom. So, bring it off. Let's put it over there, and then we'll slowly pour this in. We'll do this from the height. So it's quite thin, so the air bubbles do come up. It's nicely over. So you just want it just over, and I'm just going to quickly grab something to scrape it with. So we grab our scraper, layer on, put it straight across, layer on, put it straight across. It's got the air bubbles there, but it helps get rid of them. Oh, put a bit of muck in it, so I'll flip that out. Got it. Right. So we give that 20 minutes and let them set. Right, we've left them about 20 minutes, they're nice and solid, and they cooled down. So we'll just break them out. So it's just a matter of working our way around them. Side's a little bit thin, so I'm being a bit cautious there. As I said, I'd like to probably add another 5mm to that. There we go, it's got a nice solid block. Let's gently peel it back so we don't rip the mould. There's that one. You'll find it's overcast which has come off. They've actually got a nice bit of weight to them. There's anything left to do now is test them out. Right, we've got both our resin cast stamps, so we're just going to make an impression to see what they come up like. Boys. I don't know if I can get out to read. There's that one. And come across. That's a lot better. And there's our wooden floor. So I'll just cut these up my Mod Podge and black them, and I'll come back and paint them. Right, now the black's all dry, I'm just going to grab some burnt umber paint, work it into the bristles, and get the cloth, work it out a little bit. Do sort of an overbrush, just come down, so look which way the grain's going. I'll paint in there. Just come down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just literally work our way over it. It's going to be very dark, so we'll lighten this up in a minute. Plank one. Now this is the herringbone style, so I'm going to get some red and take it into the brown just to warm it up a bit. Do exactly the same. Just put a bit more reddish into it. It's more of a sort of paint it and dry brush it, and then so here we'll just whack around the sides, and we'll come back to them once they're dry. Right, once our brown's dry, this is the rough floor. I'm just going to grab some Mississippi mud, work it into the bristles, and work it out again. Check out the back of the hand, and get a dry brush. So I'm going to go across and just try and catch the grains. There we go. So come across, try and catch that edge a little bit more. That'll just give enough to pick up the texture in there. So now we come to the herringbone style wood. Part of me would quite like to try this as brick as well. So I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to use a warm brown. Just take it out of the bristles. Just brush it. It's almost multi-directional, this one. So just pick this up a little bit. Just gradually working my way around, having a look. And that is probably enough, just to give it a slight variation so it stands out. I might get a bit in there. There you go. There we go. So that's that done. So we'll stick the camera up and we'll have a chat. Right, so there you have it. We've gone from a 3D prints, mounted them up to make our masters, made a mould, and then we've cast them up. These got a nice bit of weight to them, and then we've test stamped them. So overall, I'm very happy with how that's turned out. I'll be adding these over to the shop section of the Facebook page. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share, subscribe and get it out there. Please consider subscribing to keep up to date with what I'm up to. And I'll be cracking on with the next video. I'm thinking of having a quick review of some new resin I tried on the printer. It's a bit cheaper than the stuff you're meant to get for it, and it works great. So hopefully I'll have that ready for you for next week. Have a great week gaming, and I'll see you then. Cheers!